We are approaching the grounds of Incitec Pivot, a leading global chemicals company based in Geelong, Australia. As you can see, the grounds are lush and green, quite benign really. Perhaps this is due to the fact that Incitec specialises in fertiliser manufacturing, as the yellow sign to our left shows. This is the front entrance, and keep in mind for later that this is an industrial chemical plant. My driver, meanwhile, has been filling me in on something that locals refer to as airshed. Until now, I've been unfamiliar with this term. Just to the end of this road, more to this phenomena shall be revealed. Employee offices are to our right. And as we travel up the street towards the ocean, just over the water, one can begin to see Alcoa in the distance. Alcoa is an aluminium smelting factory, a process of which fluoride is a major byproduct. The airshed atmospheric discharge from Alcoa's operation is of major concern to many Geelong residents. People are breathing in fluoride fumes and also having toxic pollution particles wash into their rainwater tanks. So back to Pivot. We're now at the rear of the factory, and as you can see, things are not so pretty anymore. It's a dirty area, just as one would expect from an industrial chemical manufacturer. It's hard to make out through the grime, but you can just see Pivot's fertiliser symbol on the centre tank. Pivot, of course, is Australia's leading supplier of fluorosilicic acid. This is a highly corrosive and toxic Schedule 7 poison, which is used to fluoridate drinking water across Australia. You will note the safety data sheet from Incitec Pivot says, quote, "An acid and an S7 poison. It is corrosive and toxic," unquote. Charming stuff. But just around the corner from those dirty buildings are decidedly newer facilities. Because the land is your life. Once again, we are reminded that this is a fertiliser industrial plant catering to the farming community, not to formula-fed babies, nor any other consumer of public drinking water. As we travel along, over there, those oversized golf balls, they house a variety of chemicals. It is generally shocking to most people when they first discover that fluoridation chemicals added to their drinking water are untreated toxic industrial waste products, which have never been proven safe for long-term human ingestion. Fluorosilicic acid is recovered from the smokestack scrubbers during the production of phosphate fertiliser and sold around Australia primarily by Incitec Pivot. Now we will hear from a former Incitec employee who has been directly damaged by fluorosilicic acid. He agreed to be interviewed only on the condition he remained obscured for the camera. As a relatively new employee and not adequately trained to manage fluorosilicic acid, an accident occurred where he was directly doused with the high-grade poison. Notice that the text of Incitec's material safety data sheet reads, quote, "If skin contact occurs, immediately remove contaminated clothing. Flush skin under running water for 15 minutes. Apply calcium gluconate gel to the affected area. Contact the Poisons Information Centre." End of quote. If this stuff spills, highways are shut down. This isn't child's play. Not knowing where to go to shower, he had to drive 15 minutes home with the poison still on him. This is his account, and these are his views on mandatory water fluoridation.
I wasn't told. I wasn't told about the emergency showers. They were all covered up. I actually had to jump in the car, go home and have a shower.
You've mentioned that you went to a doctor and got some medical tests done.
Yep.
What did those results provide you with, and why did you actually go and get medical testing?
After doing a bit of research, I found out that the phosphate and the fluoride that I was working with has a lot of heavy metals, particularly mercury and lead. And they came back with the results, and I have got higher levels of mercury. And I've never been a big seafood eater, and I explained my situation at Pivot, and the doctor definitely, he said that they'd have a large playing part in it.
What, working at Incitec?
Yeah, being exposed to such chemicals all the time.
So what could that possibly mean for you in the future, for your health?
It's not a good thing. Mercury's not good at all.
How does mercury affect the body?
It plays havoc with everything, your nerve endings, the way the brain functions. Yeah.
Why do you think fluoride is dangerous and should not be added to water?
It's a poison. Yeah, it's a poison. And I've done some research, and countries that use it compared to countries that don't use it, there's no benefit with teeth decay, and that's the only reason they put it in our water.
And you were mentioning that you felt it was corrosive. Could you give me firsthand what you feel about that statement?
Just from what I've seen at work, they had to spend huge amounts of money on the best metals, stainless steel, titanium, whatnot, and it just corrodes everything over a long enough period. It just eat for everything.
Do you think people in Geelong should have a choice whether or not fluoride would be added to their drinking water?
Definitely.
How does it make you feel that they're forcing fluoride?
It's genocide. It's so wrong against the people. Water is something we need every day. We shouldn't have to be poisoned by drinking it.
Is there anything else you would like to say to others out there who may be concerned about this issue?
Yeah, you need to do your own research and ask questions, because no one seems to be asking them.
What would you say to governments that are still fluoridating around the world?
They need to pull their finger out and start listening to the people.
What if they don't want to listen to the people and they're going to do it anyway?
That's a hard one, because they don't seem to listen much anyway. It's genocide. It's so wrong against the people. Water is something we need every day. We shouldn't have to be poisoned by drinking it.